So what we would like to do today, I would like to make it less technical and more informational. And I hope that everyone who is attending today gets something out of it. And if you have some questions for me, please wait until the end of this presentation. Then we'll have some time for Q&A. So what I would like to talk is this, like three important lessons to be aware of in investment. And this is very much personal to me. And I think a lot of folks go through my experience. When you are young, teenager, early 20s, you think of making a lot of money and then you start trading and then things happen differently and so forth. So in my own personal life, what I have done is I started trading early on with the stocks. And with the stock investment, it's very difficult because you don't have as much capital. So you can buy like 100 or 200 stocks because that needs a lot of capital, right? So when I realized that I don't have a leverage on investment, I moved to options. And I traded options for a few years, and options are very tricky, right? And I learned some lessons too. And later, I realized maybe option is not the best thing to do. And then I moved on to the futures market, and I have learned some lessons during my journey, and this is what I'm going to share with you all. So the three lessons that I want to share with you, some data and some information, is about it's hard to dismiss your grandma's investment wisdom, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's the first lesson. And I'm going to make some cases here. And the second lesson I want to share with you is avoid diving into the options market unless you have a comprehensive understanding of options market. That may scare some of you, but options are easy to understand if you spend some time. But unless you understand it well, don't get into this options market. That's the second lesson that I want to share, and I want to give you some insights. And then the third, and I think most importantly, is the consider micro future in your long-term portfolio, right? And I'm going to make a very strong case. So at the end of today's presentation, if you walk with this idea, oh, I can use micro futures for long-term investment. How do I do it? Maybe I should take some steps doing it. I think I would consider today's presentation is a successful presentation. So I have tried to minimize the technicalities of this presentation, and those of you who wants to understand how it is done and how these different functions of Mathematica can be used, I have two articles on the topic. One was published in 2020, is Foundation of Computational Finance. And then the second one was published in 2021, Selected Financial Applications. And both of these articles are available online. You can download, you can use them as you need it. And the reason I chose Mathematica is because it can incorporate the code text, and we can change these different code as you learn, and then you learn from the data. It's like more of experiential learning than reading a book. Somebody writes for you and you read it, learn. That's not what we would like to encourage here. Using Mathematica is use technology such as like Mathematica, just an example, but you can equally use other like softwares and use data and gain insight from the data. So that's the whole essence. How can you learn from diving into the data from this real world instead of reading from the book? So that's why I chose this platform. And as I said, if you are all interested to know more about the functions and how I'm doing all of this, please refer to these two articles. And in those articles I've explained, and then We could put them also into a package, but I chose not to put into package because we want to keep this open. People can look at, modify however they want to do as they learn. So let's go to our first lesson.